Hey everyone, welcome to this new moon Sidereal astrology forecast for the new moon on Tuesday, May 11th, 2021. All right, so new moon in Aries. If you're expecting me to say Taurus just then, be sure to check out the link down below. We are using the visible sky, which is very different from mainstream astrology, so the signs do change. And so if you are new, definitely check out that link down below for more information. All right, so new moon in Aries, the Ram, although quite close to Taurus, so it will likely be a little bit of a blend of both. Still very strongly in Aries, though, is about taking initiative, right? Aries, the Ram, is about thrusting forward and taking that action and initiative and getting some of that fire energy in our life, which already has been the focus. We've already had all the fast-moving planets, and now the sun finished or finishing Aries, and so it has been this good focus on life. But any intentions we do want to set with this new beginning around taking initiative, I think is fantastic, and also in the context of Taurus as well, which is maybe cultivating a little bit more of our resourcefulness, right? Or self-worth, self-value, our inner resources, the belief in ourselves, but also our outer resources as well, connecting to nature, good meals, resources of life, this kind of a thing, also very good to set intentions with. So definitely a combination of both. The new moon will be trining up to Pluto, so there is this empowering energy certainly available. It is squaring up to Saturn, but really nothing new. This is the waning square, which has already happened, and so I think anything that still does require some time or patience or perseverance on our part could be good. And a sextile up to Neptune as well, which is a little bit more about that receptivity, at least available with this new moon. All right. And then with Mars and Gemini, the way or the area we're taking this action and initiative could certainly be through gaining information, ideas, communication, and perhaps business and trade, all these Gemini kinds of things. So very good for those intentions. And with Mars sextiling Uranus, maybe a little bit of freedom feeling, maybe a little bit more confident with this new moon, certainly available as well. All right, so let's go and take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here's the chart for the new moon. The new moon will be on Tuesday, May 11th, 2021. Let me get you the exact time here. It will be at 16:24 Eastern Time of the Americas on Tuesday. If you do want to make that calculation for wherever you are in the world, but for all intents and purposes, it will be around that Tuesday time period. All right, so yeah, ending phase as we do approach the new moon, even though this is a fiery constellation of Aries, it is the lowest energy of the lunar cycle. And so as we do approach Tuesday, it is good to let the energies die down, to let things complete and finalize from the previous cycle. And, create a bit of space, maybe even let some things go to create space for the new beginnings. And the new beginnings will slowly start to surface throughout this week and most importantly, early next week, once we have the first quarter square, which is the more action-oriented phase of the cycle. But nonetheless, the new beginning is about now perhaps feeling it and starting to set intentions with how we can take initiative here in our life. Aries is all about that assertiveness, that side of ourself that has needs and desires and goals and wants to, pursue these things and take action and initiative in our life, perhaps personally and maybe interpersonally being more independent, right, and trusting our own instincts and our own gut. It's all about developing that greater relationship with ourselves, that greater trust with ourselves, that whatever we're feeling, guided to do, we can trust ourselves in that response. And we can rely on ourselves to take action and initiative, right? So very good there to develop that relationship with self, to listen to those instincts, to take those actions and initiatives that we feel like we want, we need, or to express ourselves with, and to be more independent with. I think is a great way of working with this new cycle. Again, this is energy that's already been concentrated because we've already had all the fast movers pass through here. And now the sun is pretty much finishing up. Wrapping up this. So it's already been, the focus, but I think any new intentions to further this energy forward, I think is great with the new moon. Now, like I said, the new moon is going to be very close to Taurus, so it's likely going to be a blend of both. And so in this context, Taurus is the grounding energies, right? So even though it's fire, this is also the fact that we still do have Mercury and Venus and soon to be the Sun in Taurus. And so this is all about taking that more slow and steady approach to things. So I think with this combination, I think it is great to, again, take those actions and initiative, but to also stop and smell the roses, right? Taurus is about connecting to the aesthetic elements of life, the sensual elements of life, to connect to nature, to enjoy a good meal, maybe the sensual things, some comforts, and take that more grounded, slow, steady, one step at a time sort of approach to things, right? To enjoy life and to really cultivate those inner resources, because Taurus, like Aries, is about the self, and Taurus is about self-reliance and is about self-efficacy, the belief in ourself, and mustering up our own inner resources, natural talents, natural abilities, right? These inner resources. So I think that's also great, is to set intentions around this as well. How can we, cultivate a bit of that resourcefulness, that steadiness, that self-reliance as well, to move things forward in terms of this new cycle. All right. So we could be enjoying this with Venus and Taurus. We could also be thinking this way with Mercury here, but the Sun will be shifting into Taurus around the Thursday time period of this week. So there will be more of that focus, certainly as part of this lunar cycle. All right, so let's go and take a look at, first of all, the dispositor of Aries, which is Mars. Mars rules Aries. And so whatever Mars is doing is going to give us more of an indication of where that assertive side can come through. The Taurus side is going to come through the Venus, but she's already concentrated in Taurus. She rules Taurus, so she's at home. So it's kind of circular here. It just kind of adds to the Taurus energy. But where that Mars energy is in practical and mental Gemini. So where we're taking action and how we're taking action, or can be collectively, is really through the mental and practical and day-to-day sort of energies of life, right? So Gemini, the twins, is all about synergizing information. And so with Mars here, it could be, of course, mental. It could be a great time of putting intention towards learning or gaining information or sharing that information through writing or communication. So it's the synergistic elements of life. And that involves interpersonally as well, which is why Gemini does involve communication and business and trade and exchanging with others, and also our peers and people of equal status. So it is great to do that, to connect to these things in life, to put some of that fire there, to gain, share, synergize information, to be curious and interested, maybe a bit social in terms of connecting to our peers or neighbors, right? This kind of thing, that we can be quite direct with our communications and learning at this time. So that becomes a great channel, a great gateway for this Aries energy with this new moon. So now let's take a look at some of the aspects that we do have. We do have here a trine up to Pluto. And so there is some empowerment with the new moon. It's nice to see Pluto in harmony here. This is usually a willingness to remove obstacles with Aries and Pluto, willingness to fight for what we want, feeling more empowered, more willing to, pursue these things. So there is some nice support from the ruler of the underworld, the deeper energies of Pluto, which can feel quite empowering and transformative as well. Now there is a square up to Saturn, but it is a very minor one, especially because it is waning. We've already had these squares even with the last lunar cycle, new moon as well. So it is just furthering this energy and nothing really new. But just remembering that, of course, things do take time, and patience and persistence and perseverance, especially with Saturn and Capricorn. So there's a little bit of that limiting energy, at least kind of in the backdrop. Again, we're probably used to it by now, but it's a little bit more grounding. And so anything that is about long-term gains, right? How can we align our short-term wants and needs with long-term wants and needs, and things that are more responsible and, more steady and long-lasting, I think can be great with that square with Saturn, with those intentions. And then there's a minor sextile up to Neptune, nothing major, but just a little bit of willingness to go with the flow available. Neptune in Pisces is, a great time of turning a bit inward. Again, it's what we want to do with the new moon anyways, but any kinds of dreams or ideals we may have might become part of this new moon. It's good to, again, put action towards things important to us on a soul level or spiritual level, and just available a little bit more receptivity, imagination, or intuition available with this as well. But this is definitely the most minor aspect with the new moon. And it is just outside a 10-degree conjunction with Aries, with Uranus in Aries, but I do want to mention, with Uranus still close by and in the same constellation of Aries, that it is still good to really mix things up with who we are, to experiment with who we are and what we want, to experiment with our identity, maybe with our self-expression, maybe try and have new experiences, especially because Mars will be sextiling Uranus around the same time as the new moon. And so there is this Uranus influence, at least somewhat available. And so Uranus is about experimentation. How can we innovate, try new things, and experiment with the things we want, with expressing ourselves, with some of this fiery Aries energy. And I think that's a great way of working with the new moon as well. All right, everyone. So that is the new moon in a nutshell. Most important thing is, letting the energies of the previous cycle die down, slowly developing some new intentions this week around both Aries and Taurus. Aries is about initiative. Taurus is about resourcefulness. How can we combine these two, the fire and the earth? Goals, but also, stopping to smell the roses. And taking things slowly and steadily and aesthetically. All right, so great to combine that, set new intentions around this. Great to put some of that fire towards maybe learning or communication with Mars and Gemini. We do have some empowering energy with Pluto, some constructive energy we can continue to be patient and work towards with Saturn, and a bit of receptivity with Neptune, all with Uranus kind of in the background, reminding us that it's so good to try new things, get outside that comfort zone a little bit, and have some different experiences. All right, so everyone have a fantastic new moon. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that like button if you haven't yet. If you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe for more videos like this one. If you are an MTZ Insider, you are getting this video first before YouTube. But if you're not yet signed up for MTZ Insiders, check out the link down below. It's an absolutely free newsletter where you do get these videos released earlier, and also some extra content as well. All right, so everyone have a great new moon. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all next time for the next astrology forecast. Take care.